Daniel Zebert gives a free kick. It could not have been closer, but it does look like a free kick right on the edge of the box.
That was close, very close, but brilliant by Hadji. Yes, it's outside the box. It looks just... If I see there, yeah, you can see just nicks him. He does follow through, though, into the area, but that's what Hadji needs to do. Get at him, 1v1. And this is a really close call.
That's mega close, you know, because the initial contact is a tiny brush of the toe. That's outside the box, but the actual trip looks on the line, and it looks to be in the box. I think David Hansko made the challenge here on Hadji. Could be in a bit of trouble here.
You see it given, 100%. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a penalty. And boy, would this be against the run of play, because really for 34 minutes Slovakia have dominated. But this is exactly what I said to you, Kevin. 1-0 is not enough. This team have players like your Hadjis that can create something from nothing, and he's gone and done that.
It's being checked. It's a long, nervous wait here for both teams. Yanis Hadji was convinced that he was in the penalty area when the contact happened, and Daniel Zebert is just waiting to get the decision here from the VAR team. It was really close. The initial lunge by Hansko was outside, but the actual contact seemed to us, at least, to be inside.
It's poor defending, though. He gets square. You can't do that. You know, you have to obviously know what foot is Hadji. What does he want to go on? Keep him on his weaker foot, but instead he gets caught square, so he can go either way then.
Well, Hansko got completely done by Hadji, really. And the referee points to the spot and gives the penalty. And he has wiped out the yellow card he'd initially given to Hansko, which is interesting. Hansko, I think, would have taken the booking, but instead he has to watch on as Romania have the chance to draw level. And Razvan Marin, who scored in the first game against Ukraine, has the opportunity to drag Romania level. Razvan Marin against Martin Dubravka from 12 yards. A deep breath, a long wait. Dubravka on his toes. Who will prevail? It's Marin, and Marin scores! Right in the top corner, sent Dubravka the wrong way, and we're all square in Frankfurt. His second goal of Euro 2024. It could be a big one. It's 1-1.
Well, that is how you take a penalty. You know, and it's not easy. The amount of pressure. You practice it. You practice it after every training session. You pick your spot. You know where you're going. It doesn't matter where the keeper's going. If you take the penalty like that, there is no chance he is keeping it, saving it.
Romania have picked themselves up off the canvas and have delivered a big right hook. They are back level now. Yanis Hadji, just like his old man, bamboozling defenders. That's just what he did. Jinked onto his left foot. Hansko was twisted around, caught his man, and what a penalty from Razvan Marin. Absolutely flew into the top corner.
Yeah, Francesco Calzona is going to be so disappointed, you know, to have let them back into the game, because his team have played so well for the first 30 minutes. You know, one defensive error allowing your player to get caught 1v1, you know, in split second the game can change. Now let's see how Slovakia respond. Can now Romania use this as momentum?
So Razvan Marin with his seconds. And where we were, Romania top, Belgium second, Slovakia third. But here comes Slovakia with a bouncing ball into the area. Hansko trying to make up for his error by trying to produce an assist. He's played so well for Feyenoord this season under Arne Slot, the new Liverpool boss. He's understandably been linked with Liverpool as a result of that. Can play left back or centre back. He's been playing left back for Slovakia at this tournament. Here's Dragushin long for Romania, but straight out of play. Over on TalkSport, by the way, live commentary of Ukraine against Belgium. That's still 0-0. In this one, it's Slovakia 1, Romania 1. And later tonight, 8 o'clock, it's the conclusion of Group F. Czechia against Turkey on TalkSport. Georgia against Portugal on TalkSport 2. Every kick coming your way right here on the TalkSport network.
How moments and pressure can change. Straight away then, Dubravka under no pressure kicks it out, and you can see there Skriniar and Lobotka screaming at each other.
It's the Romanian fans who are making the noise. With Dragusin, tall, strong defender. Back to Burka, who lofts it long, headed away by Skriniar. Slovakia have to compose themselves now, having allowed Romania back into the game. If you're just joining us, Ondrej Duda put Slovakia in front. The first Slovakian player actually to score in more than one major tournament for them. Also scored previously in Euro 2016. It's been part of the furniture with Slovakia for a long time now. Ondrej Duda.
Do you know why I fancy Romania as well is when I look at their bench. You know, I was surprised, like I said earlier, Denis Mahn. You know, he can come on. Such a creative player. Mihaila, the pace of him, I think he's actually been clocked as the fastest player in the tournament so far. So, again, fatigue in the Slovakia team. Romania have players that come on and absolutely hurt you.
Yeah, Mihaila was important in qualifying, scored a couple of goals against Switzerland in what proved to be a very important comeback. Drew in Switzerland. And he caused Belgium no end of problems on Saturday night. Here's Hadji volleying the ball towards halfway. It's a good bit of juggling there. Don't want to keep mentioning the fact his father was Georgi Hadji, but it was quite Hadji-esque. Here is cross from Banku, which was not very Hadji-esque, because that's floated behind for a goal kick. We've seen highs and lows for both teams. They're kind of having to negotiate this roller coaster ride.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's pretty much been two halves. Slovakia for the first 30 minutes, complete control, domination. Romania couldn't get a foothold. The goal has changed it. Now Slovakia look like a bit of the edgier team, and I said this about this group, these teams, it's just one.
Dulu, aku percaya hidup itu penuh beban. Tapi, semua berubah karena dia.
Di bawah Relax aja pakai Telkomsel Lite. 25.000 dapat 6 giga dan kuota 1 giga tiap bulan. Telkomsel Lite, di bawah Relax aja.
Kayak nggak ada yang lain aja sih.
Terus, harus cari yang gimana lagi, Pak?
Ya, yang penting itu bukan yang banyak minta.
Tahu dari mana dia banyak minta? Jarang banget loh. Aku keluar uang kalau jalan sama dia.
Enggak. Cari tuh yang baik, ramah.
Dia ramah, lingkungan, pintar untuk saling mengisi. Aku bisa lebih jauh sama dia.
Alah, ini paling juga kayak kemarin. 2 tahun udahan.
Enggak, Pak. Yang ini bisa sampai 8 tahun.
Kalau menurut Papa, ini sama aja kayak yang lain.
31 km per liter, Pak.
Up with him. Denis Draguš, edge of the area. Right foot shot wide of the target. Hadji wants to know why the ball wasn't slipped to him, but Draguš only had eyes for goal, and he hit it wide of the target.
Yeah, if I'm being completely honest, that looks like a striker that hasn't scored too many goals on international level. Really, truthfully, no conviction. You can see here, 1v1, any other striker really has a go, but that shot's never really challenging the keeper there. If anything, actually, I think there's two options to look to pass, which are a better option.
Draguš scored in the opening game against Ukraine, but that was only his third goal at international level. He's had a good season in Turkey with Gaziantep on loan from Standard Liège. He got 15 goals, including 4 goals in his last 4 games. So he went into this tournament on form, but as the former England striker Tash Dowie says, his record at international level is promising, but it's not a long track record. Header by Strelec, who's struggled to make much of an impact, but here he is, left-footed volley, and that's high wide and not too handsome from David Strelec. Picked ahead of Robert Bojanic today. Has he really justified that for you yet?
No, not yet. I think they're very similar players, if I'm being completely honest. I actually think Bojanic does better at holding up the play, and he's actually more of a threat in behind. maybe the 2 games, the short amount of turnover, he needed a rest, but I'd be very surprised if we don't see Bojanic feature in the second half pretty early.
44th minute in Frankfurt. Really good scrap so far. We feared that because a draw is enough for these two to make the last 16, they might not be too interested in winning. I held on for hope. I'm not a natural cynic, and actually they've really gone for it, haven't they?
Both teams have. It really has been a flying start, and again, it's going to be really interesting to see tactically changes at half-time. Will there be changes made, changes early? We haven't seen too many changes within both of these teams, but again, how the other game is going as well, I think it's going to be a fascinating second half.
Still 0-0 in that game between Ukraine and Belgium. That's over on TalkSport, live commentary of that one. Of course, if you've got the TalkSport app, you can switch between the 2 stations really easily. Well worth downloading, as Yanis Hadji is pushed over by Hansko, who's really struggled to deal with him actually in the latter part of this half. It was Hadji who drew the penalty from Hansko. Here come Romania as we tick towards stoppage time at the end of the half. That's a dreadful ball. He's trying to swing it out to the left-hand side, and Coman could have cloned himself, stood in his own shoulders. He still wouldn't have got there. 3 minutes of added time we'll have in the Frankfurt sunshine. And we're into the first of those as Dubravka sends it long down the right-hand side. Pekarik got there ahead of his man and has gone down. It's going to be a free kick, and a yellow card is shown, and he was just hacked down there. It was Burka with the challenge. Andre Burka goes into the book.
Yeah, you can see he's actually covering for Banku, who's been drawn out of that position, so the centre halves had to come across, and he's never getting there, and he probably knows truthfully, if I'm not going to get the ball, I have to get a player, and it's a professional foul, but a dangerous situation now with a couple of minutes to go till half time.
He nearly missed him entirely, such was his momentum, but he just reached out to make sure as he was whizzing past. And as Tashdawi says, this is a late chance in the half for Slovakia to make something happen. Duda standing over it with Haraslin. Haraslin potentially with the outswinger. Depiction of a football on his wrist with the number 17, his number. Would be a bit strange if he had a tattoo of a different number. So here it comes. Haraslin's free kick, wide on the right. It's a flat one towards the penalty spot. Was really poor quality actually. Easily cleared by Banku. Slovakia with a chance to loft it long down the left, and that's not a great ball either. Vavro trying to keep it going, and Tashdawi, they made a real mess of that.
Yeah, everything about that was poor. Originally really poor. Free kick going in, doesn't even clear the first man, then opportunity then to get the ball back in, to make something else, and they kick it straight out. 2 real opportunities missed there.
Final minute of stoppage time as the ball goes back to Denis Vavro, 10 yards shy of halfway. He's an uncompromising centre-back. He wants... Back in February, played against his international teammate Lukáš Haraslín in a friendly, got sent off for chopping him down on halfway. Doesn't mess around, Denis Vavro. Here come Romania. It's nice from Hadji. His confidence is high, but he's given that ball away. Just lofted it straight into the air, and Duda tried to latch onto it. Luckily for Romania, there were enough yellow shirts back there. That could have been a really bad error from Hadji. It's been hit and miss from these two, but it's made for a fascinating game. I hope you agree, listening to us on TalkSport 2. 1-1 in the dying seconds of the first half. Slammed forward by Dragushin, easy header away by Vavro. Lobotka now across to Hansko. Hansko to Schranz. Schranz has it taken off his toe by Banku, and that's going to be a yellow card for him. Nikoshua Banku, and now we've had 2 of the Romanian back 4 cautions.
Yeah, Romania need to do better there. They keep going long ball all the time. That's not their strength. They need to try and be braver to get the ball down and play through the thirds.
So it is half-time in Frankfurt, and it's been livelier than some predicted. Yes, a point apiece is enough for these 2 nations, but they have gone for it. Slovakia took the lead through Andre Duda's header, but Romania able to equalise through a Razvan Marin penalty. and there are still twists and turns to come. Half-time in Frankfurt at Euro 2024. It's Slovakia 1, Romania 1, and you're listening to TalkSport 2.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport 2 with Burger King. Save big with the $4.99 King Box. It's the ultimate matchday lineup, featuring a barbecue double melt burger, chili cheese bites, fries, and a drink.
Here she is, the three-time world champion. What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes. Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. And a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty. You have to say, the judges are gonna love this one.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £7 on Coke 8 packs. Then there's pizza price drops, including the talented spicy chicken fajita flavour and classic 4-cheese deep dish. Worth £3 each, now £2 each.
And don't forget the dependable garlic flatbread was £1.80, now £1.50. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda this summer. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. Pizzas and flatbread end 17th of July. May exclude express and small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. On the beach, on the beach, on the beach.
Booking geniuses, save your summer. Get a wiggle on and book yourself a bargain with On the Beach. Big budget or small, we've got a mega holiday for all. Should have been a rapper. On the Beach, book like a genius, holiday like a fool.
ATOL protected.
On the beach.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's barbecue steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
You could skydive out of a plane. Or swim with sharks. You might even skinny dip in icy cold waters. Or you could get that inexpressible high, that guaranteed rush from finding just the thing you wanted, the thing you needed, at a great sale price. IKEA Summer Sale, now on. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app, only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18+, always drink responsibly.
Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
It's game on.
This is TalkSport 2.
And there's the full-time whistle. And it's Portugal who are safely through to the round of 16 Euro 2024.
Mikotadze! Beautifully done! Sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. And Georgia have the advantage.
Chance may be here for Goulet. Goulet on his left foot to Benoit! Oh, what a goal for Turkey!
We have to look forward because we have the chance to go as second and as a third place.
Here's the corner from Sofal. Another good delivery and the header's off the post. And it is smuggled in. Patrick Schick wheels away in delight. Yeah, you'll hear the conclusion of Group F tonight. 8 o'clock kickoffs. We've got live coverage of the games between Portugal and Georgia and Czechia and Turkey. That group really intriguing. Portugal have won both of their games so far. Kevin Hatchard alongside the former England striker Tash Dowie. Tash, Portugal, been one of the most impressive teams so far, and they can hurt you in lots of different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've got strength and depth on the bench and in their starting 11. They've got players with experience, they've got youth as well, but throughout all the units as well, I think they're really powerful. And when you've got Ronaldo with such experience, yeah, they're going to definitely be one of the favourites to tip at this tournament.
Cristiano Ronaldo yet to score. He is going to start tonight, according to Roberto Martinez. He's going to change 9 of the 11, but he's keeping the goalkeeper Diogo Costa, and he's keeping Cristiano Ronaldo. No goal for him yet. Pass to Bruno Fernandes went clean through. What's going on there?
Yeah, maturing in his old age, isn't he?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. No, he's a goal scorer. He loves scoring goals, but I also think, deep down, he wants to, win with this team and whatever it takes, and he's been there and done it. And like I said, I think everyone knows just how important he is for that Portugal team.
Big question for you. We've nearly seen the end of the group phase now. Who stands out to you as potential winners? It's very early, but there are a couple of teams who look really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Spain look really good, really strong. I like their playing style anyway and the way that they go about games, but they look attractive. Germany, again, with the Germans, they're always going to be there or thereabouts. I think for me, those two are the ones in particular that really stand out.
Well, you're listening to Slovakia 1, Romania 1, live on TalkSport 2. Let's take a look back on the first half with Carling.
Halftime highlights on TalkSport 2 with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
It's their first ever meeting with Romania in a major tournament. Now Rakiu trying to get into the penalty area, and he's done it! And the curling shot is saved, and on the follow-up from Haji, the ball goes flying over the crossbar. Taraslin's delivery, it's a flat one held on, and it went right across the face of goal and behind. How did Slovakia not touch that one in? It's a high-hanging ball from Kucka, and the header is absolutely stunning! Ondrej Duda puts Slovakia in front, and the referee points to the spot and gives the penalty. It's Marine, and Marine scores right in the top corner, sent Dubravka the wrong way, and we're all square in Frankfurt. There are still twists and turns to come. Half-time in Frankfurt at Euro 2024. It's Slovakia 1, Romania 1. So all square in this game. If you want to hear the second half of Ukraine against Belgium, that's over on TalkSport. That's 0-0 at the moment. So what does that mean? Well, it means we're kind of where we started. So Romania top of the group, Belgium second, Slovakia third, Ukraine would be fourth. But remarkably, all 4 teams would be locked together on 4 points. Now, ahead of the second half of this one, let's take a look at the odds with William Hill.
In the Zone on TalkSport 2 with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Now, it's worth bearing in mind that a point apiece suits both of these nations. If it was a draw, both Slovakia and Romania would make it through to the last 16. So perhaps no surprise that the draw is the favourite here at half-time. It is 10-11. A Slovakia win is 2-1. A Romanian victory is currently priced at 19-5. That was a look at the latest odds thanks to William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
In the Zone on TalkSport 2 with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
So it is all square in Frankfurt. Kevin Hatchard alongside the former England striker Tash Dowie for this one. Tash, it was interesting, wasn't it? Because we wondered how intense these two teams would be. Would they be a bit nervous? Would they be a bit cautious? Absolutely not. It was ragged and crazy, certainly in the opening exchanges.
Yeah, first 5-10 minutes, I think both teams tried to find their feet, and then from then on, Slovakia dominated, deserved the goal, really controlled the game for the majority, and then one moment of maybe switching off, poor defending, one moment of magic by Haji to create the penalty, and then Romania are back in the game, completely against the run of play. But then that goal gave them the momentum, and actually they finished the stronger of the two teams. So going to be really interesting to see who wants to come out second half and really put a foothold on this game.
You said in the first half you felt that Romania have the ability to change the game with some of the guys they've got on the bench, guys like Mihaila, Dennis Mann.
Absolutely, and I think you'll see them get involved pretty soon, if I'm being completely honest, because I think Romania, they want to win this game. And I was surprised, like I said, to see Mann benched, whether that's fatigue, a slight injury, but he's got to come on second half. I think that Koeman, for me, didn't do enough. He was non-existent for the first half. Hadji, yes, deserved to get his start and has made the most, created the goal, but for me, Mann has to come on. Mihaila with his pace as well as the game progresses, tired legs, having pace always scares defenders, so they've got more options, in my opinion, than what Slovakia have.
From the Slovakian point of view, if you look at the goal they scored, their threat is really from midfield, and it was two midfielders linking up, actually. Brilliant curling cross from the right by Juraj Kucka, and then Andre Duda, so smart. He's not the quickest, he's not the strongest, but he's a really clever footballer and a perfectly placed header.
It was a beautiful goal, and let's be honest, that's their strength, is their midfield. Lobotka, for me, is their key player. He is their main man. Everything good about Slovakia, Lobotka is involved in that holding midfield role, but then the likes of Kucka, Duda, they bring their strengths as well, and I think that midfield three really need to get together, and if Slovakia to go on and win this game, they've got to win that midfield battle, which they are capable of doing.
When the teams dropped, one of the first things you said to me when you looked at the Slovakian team is you saw David Strelec and you said, runs a lot, does a lot of the work without the ball, doesn't score many goals. He's barely had a chance worth of the name.
Yeah, if I'm being completely honest, if you're going to come in, then you've got to at least put yourself about, run, be dogged, don't give that back for any moment. But he hasn't done that. He hasn't held the ball up for his team. He hasn't been that focal point that a number 9 needs to be. So Bojanic, for me, has to come on. He offers more, in my opinion, than Strelec.
Needs to come to the Tashdawi Strikers Academy, I would suggest. The big games keep coming, by the way, on the TalkSport network tonight. It's the conclusion of Group F. We've got Czechia against Turkey on TalkSport. Commentary from Mark Wilson and the former Chelsea defender Scott Minto. Over on TalkSport 2, Georgia against Portugal. That'll be Ian Danter commentating alongside the former England striker Darren Bent. So you're spoiled for choice tonight. Either Czechia against Turkey or Georgia against Portugal, or if you've got the TalkSport app, you can just keep switching between the two. We are just about ready to get back underway in the second half. I think, Tashdawi, you're going to get your wish, because it looked as though Dennis Mann was warming up and ready to come on.
He heard me. No, it's obvious. I think he's got 2 assists in the first game. No, even in the second game, that they lost, he was the one that created something, looked like creating something. And I think Hadji's had a great half, but if you bring Mann on as well on that other side, now we're talking.
Pretty sure I saw Edward Iordanescu, the coach of Romania, just whisper to his backroom staff, what's Dowie saying at half-time? Pretty sure I saw that. This is a really strange dynamic, because just to remind listeners, or if you're just joining us, the situation, because of the complex nature of the group, the one thing we do know is if these two draw, they're both going through. If it gets to 75, 80 minutes...
You keep saying this,
It's
Kevin.
true, though, isn't it? It's just human nature that
Absolutely.
They're going to retreat a bit, aren't they?
I get that, but if you have that mindset, I'm telling you now, as a professional athlete, as a football player, you're playing games to win games. It's a very dangerous game to play where then you're both trying to go for that draw, because I'm telling you now, 1 second it takes to score a goal, 1 set piece. And if you, after working so hard to get yourself into this position, the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes, think, right, let's see it out, and it doesn't work out, I think I much prefer as a player to go all out, leaving it all out there, and then, the best team wins.
It's wonderful. I finally found somebody who's less cynical than me. I'm football romantic. I was telling everyone who would listen, this won't be just a carve up, it won't be a draw. Tash believes that too. Atmosphere's been great in Frankfurt, as you would expect. Lots of noise, lots of colour. We had a little bit of smoke at the start of the game. Sights and sounds of Euro 2024. That's something you see in German league games all season long. A bit of pyro here and there, even though, of course, it's not technically allowed. There's currently a huge Slovakian flag making its way across the Slovakian section. Has been a brilliant tournament in that regard. So many superb displays from the fans. We're back underway in Frankfurt. Romania playing from left to right in this second half, all in yellow. Slovakia all in blue, attacking the goal away to the left-hand side. Two teams for you quickly. Dubravka in goal for Slovakia. Hansko, Skriniar, Vavro and Pekarik the back four. Duda, Lobotka and Kutska the midfield. Haraslin, Strelets and Schranz the front three. As for Romania, it is Nita in goal. Ratiu, Dragushin, Burka and Banku the back four. Marius Marin, the holding midfielder. In front of him, Hadji, Razvan Marin, Stanchu and Coman, and then the lone striker is Denis Draguš.
Joe, we talk about the draw though. I actually think these two teams deserve to go through. I think they've played the best football. So if we're talking about actually who deserves to go through, then I want to see a draw today, because I'd love nothing more to see these two teams progress. I think they've been brilliant to watch.
But we'll take 4-4, right?
We'll take 4-4.
Yeah, that would.
Your voice might not though.
That's true. That's absolutely true. 1-1 at the moment, 1 minute gone in this second half. Here come Slovakia down the left-hand side with Hansko. Swings it across to the right corner of the penalty area. Nodded down to Kutska, veteran midfielder. So experienced, so determined, and here he is. He's made one goal already out to the right-hand side, and the cross was blocked by Schranz.
We gotta lead the way. Lead the wave, don't sit for the same. Lead the wave, people think it's weird. Lead the wave, we are limitless. Lead for the future, lead the real way. Try to beat that. Just like Chitato. Try to beat that. Just like Chitato. Lead the wave, just like Chitato. Lead the way, just like Chitato.
Saya mau buka rahasia awet muda saya. Atur suasana hati, semudah atur udara bersih. Tenangkan stres dengan yang selalu fresh. Tenangkan pikiran kusutmu dengan yang bikin nyaman. Jalani hidup dengan penuh warna.
Produk Panasonic pasti dilengkapi unik teknologi dengan kualitas Jepang. Awet muda pasti Panasonic. Panasonic.
Despite having 4 points, would go home, which would be extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think this second half has started very similar to how the first half did. Slovakia, early set piece, early pressure. They've definitely come out in the second half the stronger of the two. Let's see again how this momentum will shift.
The Romania coach Edward Iordanescu took up the reins in 2022. He's still just 46. Started coaching in his early 30s after a modest playing career. His father, Angel Iordanescu, was in charge of that famous Romania team that reached the World Cup quarter-finals in 1994 in America. The team of Georgi Hagi, Gica Popescu, Florian Radicioiu. I'm not on a bonus for mentioning Georgi Hagi, I have to say, just to make that clear. I feel like I've talked about him a lot so far this afternoon. His son, Yanis Hagi, has just given away a free kick for Slovakia. Hansko, the man upended. It's been a good battle between those two.
It really has, an honest battle. I think right now Hagi's winning it, but it has, it's been lovely to see the 1v1 situations. I think really the left back there needs more support, because I think Hagi is a lively player, can go inside and outside. That's how he won the penalty. So then the centre half, Skriniar, the captain, he has to cover him more. He has to get over and support that fullback more, because he's struggled in this game.
It was a bit of a scary moment for Dubravka there. He was given a rather dangerous pass, but he managed to work it to Skriniar, who pumps it long down the left-hand side for Slovakia. Ratiu with a loose touch, and here's Hansko surging into the box, cuts it back. Oh, that's an awful clearance by Dragushin. The goalkeeper just about paws it away. He's absolutely furious, Florin Nita, because there were two mistakes there really. Ratiu's first, and then Dragushin just hacked the ball into the air, and it took the experienced Nita to come and deal with the danger. Here come Romania at the other end though, with Yanis Hagi wearing number 10, approaching the edge of the penalty area, in on his left foot. It was a poor ball though, easily cleared by Vavro, and now it'll drop to Coman on the far side, the left. Dennis Mann was warming up quite furiously at half-time, thought he might have come on at half-time, but that didn't happen. And here is Coman, who would be the natural player perhaps to come off. Stanchu, he's been quiet, the captain. Scored that magnificent goal against Ukraine in their opening game. He is the creative heartbeat, and he's played it down the left. That's a good ball. Banku trying to help it to Coman. It comes back out to Banku, but then Draguš can't make anything happen. The ball just skims off his head and goes through to Dubravka. 51st minute in Frankfurt. Slovakia 1, Romania 1.
Yeah, and again, it's Hadji involved. But you can see he wants to keep cutting on his left foot. So then the fullback there, Banku, he has to make him go line. Go onto his right foot, see it out. That's a situation that I think Romania, they need to get Hadji more into the game. You know, if something's working, keep feeding him the ball. He's 1v1 all day long, and I think he's winning that battle, and he's going to continue to win that battle.
Here comes Slovakia, just building from the back. Nearly 51 minutes gone in Frankfurt. Live coverage of Slovakia-Romania on TalkSport 2. Whereas on TalkSport, it is Ukraine against Belgium. Live commentary of that one. Pumped long by Slovakia towards the left-hand side, and Duda headed away by Ratiu. Trying to work it on this left-hand side with Haraslin. Charging into the area. Haraslin, he's done really well. Onto his right foot, and the shot was straight at the goalkeeper, Nita, and he gathers at the second attempt. But that was a driving run from Haraslin, causing a problem. Now Romania trying to make something happen at the other end.
That is textbook Haraslin, and like I said before the game, he can go inside and he can go outside, and that's hard then to defend as a defender, because he's just as strong on his right foot as he is his left foot, and he caused loads of problems in the first two games of this group stage, and that really is probably the first we've seen of him in those moments, in those 1v1 situations. So he needs to get himself more involved in this second half.
All square as things stand. Both of these teams are going through. Romania as a top two finisher, Slovakia as a third place team. Here's Schranz though, trying to run the defence, trying to charge in from the right flank, but fouled his man. It was good tracking back actually by Florinel Coman. The work rate has been excellent from both teams, Tash.
Yeah, as you'd expect, you know, honest teams, hard-working teams. Can I just say though, what a ball by Lobotka. I mean, what is that, 50, 60 yards across the pitch, pinpoint. And I was really lucky in the end there by Schranz, giving away the foul. But I just don't see the way this game's going. I cannot call it. It's going to be so tight. I do think substitutions are going to play a big part in this.
So I'm not on a bonus for mentioning Georgie Hadji. Tash Dowie isn't on a bonus for mentioning Lobotka. Just have to underline that. Former England striker Tash Dowie alongside Kevin Hatchard for this one. It is going to be a nail-biting end to the group. Level in Frankfurt.
Masak apa aja jadi mantap karena pakai kecap manis Indofood. Diolah alami 120 hari, bikin kecapnya manis gurih. Makasih Bu. Kecap manis Indofood, manis gurih.
Isi bensin dan beli item game berkali-kali pakai OVO, rebut banyak cashbacknya.
That left Hansko in a heap on the floor, but carrying on here, it's going to be Duda. Slides it into the area looking for Haraslin, and that was excellent from Stanchu. Tracking back and winning the ball. We don't necessarily associate that with him. He is very much the flair player in that midfield area, but he won it. And he plays it out for a throw so that Hansko can get some attention. It was Hadji who went in for the challenge with him. Those two will be sick at the sight of each other by the end of the game.
Yeah, do you know, it's actually good refereeing. I thought it was a head injury, so then I could understand then why the manager was going so mad, but it wasn't. And then it's advantage play, so it's good refereeing there.
55th minute. Slovakia 1, Romania 1. Slovakia won 7 of their 10 qualifiers. They finished second behind the group winners Portugal. Their only defeats were against Portugal, who won all 10 of their qualifiers. So Slovakia really did excel. Their coach Francesco Calzona called this a tough challenge mentally. Said that they'd be facing a very strong side. Says he feels his side deserves to make the last 16. Here come Romania down the far side, the left, as we look at it. And the offside flag is up against Draguš on the far side. Edward Iordanescu on the edge of his technical area. The Romanian coach. He's a very demonstrative guy. His smart suit and white polo shirt, constantly waving. It's a warm day, so he's had to towel himself down a bit.
Yeah, and again, going back to just the incident there, offside, Dragush, there is nothing worse, and to be fair, I used to get shouted at a few times, as a number 9, when you're playing out and you don't get yourself onside quick enough and you get caught offside and then you allow the opposition. And again, I harp on about how hard it is to be a lone striker in these games. But that's the game that he's playing right now, Dragush, and it's the same, for Strelitz. It's not a pretty job, but you have to do one for the team. You have to be in the right situation. You have to run yourself to the ground knowing that you've got someone else on the bench that can come on and finish the job off for you.
How bold will these two be, knowing that a point is enough? Worked it to Hansko down the left here, Slovakia. Ratiu in his way. Ratiu with his hair dyed blue, in a nod to that famous USA 94 team that dyed their hair. Ball is through here to Vavro for Slovakia, into the centre circle for the excellent Lobotka. He's a big part of Napoli winning the Scudetto recently. Not the season just gone, but the season before that. Everybody talks about Kvicha Kvaratskhelia and Victor Osimhen, and they did play star roles, but Lobotka was a big part of that success. Here's Dubravka, goalkeeper for Slovakia, out to the far side, and Vavro, and Slovakia just keeping possession and playing their way into the game. And here's big Milan Skriniar, the captain. First season at Paris this season. He was left out of the cup final team. Ball over the top here, looking for what was a pretty smart run from Pekarik, but the offside flag was up in any case. But again, Slovakia really slick in midfield, and Lobotka just trying something there that didn't quite work out.
Yeah, but this is the kind of positions you want to get him in. Driving in that midfield, spacing behind. Pekarik will be there all day long for you. Inches really away from being offside.
Change here, and not necessarily the one we expected, actually. Florinel Coman is coming off. It's being replaced by Dejan Sorescu, who is a more defensively minded option than either Valentin Mihaila or Denis Mann. Sorescu, who's been on loan at Gaziantep in Turkey. He's a utility player, really. He can play both flanks. He can play full-back or wing. The roof, by the way, in Frankfurt is not closed. I can tell you the skies are very grey. It has been raining lightly, and you get the sense it could rain rather heavily in what remains of this game.
I think straight away that says a lot. If you're saying it's more defence-minded, are they happy with where they are then in the group? Do they want to shut up shop a bit? I did say that I think Slovakia started this second half the better, so do they need to have maybe a bit more of a defence-minded player coming on? There's nothing wrong with that, but I think there's a little bit different than to inviting pressure on. If you're going to invite pressure on, then you're asking for trouble.
That is the danger. So Dejan Sorescu is on in place of Florinel Coman. Long ball here from Slovakia, and Haraslin trying to get away from Ratiu. Ratiu stuck with him, and most importantly, didn't dive in there. Would have been really easy to do that. And now Romania trying to attack, and that's headed away by Skriniar at full stretch. That's going to be a throw to Romania on the near side, the right, level with the edge of the penalty area as that rain starts to come down a bit more insistently in Frankfurt.
Yeah, it's a great ball by Hadji. And sometimes those balls in behind, where you can then win possession hard at the pitch, that's okay. When your team's been under pressure or you want to try and gain momentum, that's the perfect ball, and that's where your number 9 then needs to run for you.
Ratiu's throw into the feet of Dragush, but he didn't manage to keep it. Slovakia able to clear, but only as far as Burka. His ball forward was a bit clumsy, but managed to recover. Ticking towards the hour mark in Frankfurt, still level. Slovakia 1, Romania 1. It's pumped forward towards Dragush, tries to nod it down for Ratiu, but Slovakia are able to clear. But again, it's a throw for Romania down the right, taken quickly. Here's Ratiu, Andrei Ratiu, twisting and turning, a few step overs, but didn't really outfox the defender there. Hansko's clearance is charged down, but Slovakia take control with Lobotka. Absolutely nothing phases him. Across to Vavro to the right back area, and Pekarik back to big Denis Vavro, just bangs it downfield towards halfway. Really strong header there forwards by Romania, and it runs loose on the edge of the area. Can they get a shot away here? A bit of a slip from Razvan Marin, finds Hadji. Hadji, edge of the box, faced by a wall of blue, but he plays it infield. Razvan Marin, good save by Dubravka. Had to move really sharply to his right to touch that one away, but Romania forward again here, and the shot right-footed goes over the top. A fair few Romanian fans thought it was in, but it rippled the roof of the net. Dragush with the right foot shot, edge of the area, goalkeeper beaten. There was some cheers, but it was not a goal. It just rippled the roof of the net with Dubravka well beaten. It's still 1-1.
I thought it was in. You know, that's 10 seconds of wonderful play by Romania. How Razvan Marin has even got that shot away. You know, you can see there, it's almost a standing toe poke, but the power he gets behind it to make the keeper make a save. And then Dragush with a great effort. I was celebrating, I thought it was top bins.
The effort from Razvan Marin was almost like a budget version of that wonderful Ronaldinho goal against Chelsea that he managed from almost a standing start with the outside of the boot. Dubravka able to save that one. We've had 61 minutes in Frankfurt. Still nothing to separate these teams. Still nothing to separate the other two teams in the group, Ukraine and Belgium. That's goalless. So all four teams still locked together on 4 points. I'm not the best of weathermen, but did suggest it was going to start absolutely whacking it down, and it is. Here's Haraslin working it infield. Now it's with Lobotka. That's just going to add to the chaos, one suspects, because it isn't the best of pitches anyway, really. Here's Haraslin, left edge of the penalty area, tries to work it infield. The weather in Germany has been weird and wonderful at this tournament. 4 seasons in one day at times. Hadji has done well working back there too with his team at Thrum.
I love that. I absolutely love that. You know, as a centre forward and a wide player, you know you've got to do a job for your team defensively as well. You know, so he's creating goals at one end, but then he's back helping his defenders out at the other end, and that's exactly what you have to do if you're going to then progress in this tournament.
Free kick is given Slovakia's way. You are listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport 2, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. The rain is somewhat biblical, I have to say. It's absolutely hammering it down now.
Defenders will love this, and strikers. You know, you need to follow in second balls. You know the keeper might spill it. These are the kind of, I know it sounds crazy, but these are the games that I love. You know, wet, you can really fizz the ball around. The defenders love the slide tackling. You know, they'll be loving this.
Hard as nails, touchdown. Absolutely. It's with Vavro here, inside right channel, inside his own half. Slovakia 1, Romania 1 on TalkSport 2. Over on TalkSport, live commentary of Ukraine against Belgium, which is still 0-0. Lofted down the right-hand side here by Slovakia to Schranz, and he's laid it off. Can they get the shot away? Strelec, left foot shot, kicked away by Nita. Strelec's first meaningful effort in front of goal, and the whistle has now gone. But David Strelec finding room at long last in the penalty area. Hit it low and hard, but Nita able to make the save.
It would have been a beautiful goal, long ball, great first touch. You know, the way that then they combined it. But again, as a number 9, you have to do better there. You know, he doesn't have to lace that there. Either side, shape it. You can go right, you can go left. You're under no pressure, and he smashes it straight at the keeper. That's an easy save for the keeper there. And again, I'm being really critical of the number 9s, but I think he has to do better there.
Attempted charge forward there by Surescu, who has moved out to the left-hand side where Coman was, just to maybe lock up that side. Maybe there was a bit of concern from Jordanescu about what Slovakia were able to do. Well, if I tell you that it wouldn't be a big surprise if Noah turns up with the arc in the next minute or so, that'll give you an idea of what the weather's like. These sheets of rain in Frankfurt. Here comes Slovakia. Duda in the centre circle. Angle ball out to Haraslin. Ratiu for company. Haraslin, left edge of the penalty area. Right foot shot, curling! Wow, that was close, but it's just wide of the far post. The goalkeeper at full stretch got nowhere near it, and Lukáš Haraslin was so close to making it 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely. Second opportunity in the game. And we're talking after 64 minutes that we get Harashline in a position to go 1v1. And this is what he can do. He is their danger man. And that's someone that's got a bit more conviction about them. And if he could just wrap his foot around that inch more, that's nestling bottom corner. But warning signs.
65 on the watch. Slovakia 1, Romania 1. And they're going to make a couple of changes here, Romania. They're going to bring on George Puskás, who was formerly on the books at Reading, spent several years there. And they're going to bring on Denis Mann, who made 2 goals in the opening game against Ukraine. Scored 13 goals for Parma in the Italian second tier this season. And he's a real danger. So Mann will come on for Hadji, who's done his bit by winning the penalty. And Draguš comes off to be replaced by George Puskás. Was on the books at Inter in Italy at one stage as well. He was playing his trade for Bari this season as a lone player. So Puskás, the number 9, is on, as is Denis Mann. They've replaced Draguš and Hadji. What do you make of that?
I'm surprised, if I'm being completely honest. I wanted to see Mann involved, but for Hadji, no. You know, he's been their danger man. You know, whenever Romania have looked dangerous, it's because Hadji's got involved. So whether or not then they're being brave enough to try and save his legs for further on in the tournament, but he's been their best player by a mile. I would have kept him on.
There's real jeopardy here now, because one of these teams knows that if they win it, they could win the group. They also know if they lose it, they could go out of Euro 2024. Still level over on TalkSport between Ukraine and Belgium. All 4 teams locked together on 4 points. Here is a bit of space for Stanciu, edge of the area, lays it off. Marine works it to Denis Mann, trying to get in on his left foot. Can he get the shot away? Denis Mann forced across the box, works it to Bancu, the left back, in a crossing position. Out to Sorescu. Stanciu now. And his attempted ball in field is blocked, and that goes out for a throw-in to Romania. Ebbs and flows in this second half.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's very much like for like though when you look at Mann and his playing style. Very similar to Hadji. Wants to get on his left foot. So pretty much the left back for Slovakia is having one hell of a game, you know, up against 2 really tough opposition.
Forward by Bancu into the Slovakian area, really well dealt with by Skriniar, who just knocks it away from Puskás. Puskás back to Stanciu, but it was a loose touch from him. It's not like him. And a really panicky clearance by Slovakia. There's real fear in both teams at the moment. Here's Dejan Sorescu, the substitute for Romania. Plays it in field. It's with Marius Marin. And now they work it back to Burka. Now Dragušin. And he just fires it forward. What a ball! Into the penalty area. And it just skipped away from Denis Mann on the wet surface all the way through to Dubravka, but the idea was really smart.
Oh, the vision. First of all, to see the run, spectacular, but then to be able to execute that ball. And if it wasn't raining, I think that's making him. I think it's getting there. I think the rain has actually taken it away from Mann, but a great run as well. And that's what they need. They need someone threatening him behind more. And Mann will do that out-to-in run, similar to like a Mo Salah. You know, that kind of run that fullbacks don't like. It's really hard to mark.
Who can grab the initiative? 69th minute, Slovakia 1, Romania 1. It's with Skriniar. Slides it square to find Vavro, and the ball did not move truly. That's the fear now. The rain is eased off, but there's a fair bit of standing water now on this pitch, and even the most basic of passes is a bit of an adventure. And Slovakia drive it down the right-hand side, but it gets away from the intended target, who was Schranz, and that's all the way through to Nita. That is something these players have to bear in mind now, this surface.
Yeah, and you probably don't want to mess around in the wrong areas now. You know, neither of these teams particularly play out too often. They tend to go a bit more long and direct. But probably with 20 minutes to go, no silly mistakes, no errors.
Remember, a draw is enough for both teams to progress. And changes here for Slovakia. They're going to bring on Robert Bojanic and Tomáš Suslov. And they're on for Strelec and Harashline, so they're pretty much like-for-like changes. Bojanic is the centre forward. He scored against Wales in the pre-tournament warm-ups. It was a 4-0 win actually for Slovakia. And Tomáš Suslov was once seen as the next big thing in Slovakia.
Desperately need. It's understandable bringing on these fresh attackers, but can they get the ball into the final third and put some pressure on that Belgian defence? They've struggled the whole half to do that.
Van Aert is 22 years of age. He's never scored an international goal. This is a throw of the dice now by Sergei Rebrov, who needs something here. 20 minutes of normal time to play. Mangala. Tiet. Challenged by Malinovsky. Here he is again, Ruslan Malinovsky, 64th cap for him, trying to pick out Van Aert. And early signs of what that substitution pair might be able to achieve.
Yeah, Van Aert has to be right on the shoulder of Vertonghen or Fass. They might be deep in their own half, Ukraine, but just one forward ball gets the team short in numbers with the pace of Van Aert. Could get in behind them, could win the game. It could change the whole complexion of the group if they score.
Surikov, Malinovsky, Zinchenko. Surikov. Valas was the target. Tiet. Now can Doku get onto this? Against Timchik again. Pass to Barney, unable to feed Lukaku. And some groans from the Belgian supporters. So much tension inside the stadium in Stuttgart. Belgium will hope this is enough to go through. Ideally, they would love to top the group. They would need to get a winner here for that, as things stand. De Bruyne turns away from Stepanenko. Onana. Mangala. Carrasco. Carrasco again! Good save! Best save of the game from Anatoly Trubin. Doku trying to weave his way. Blocked by Svatok. Carrasco again. What an impact that could have been off the bench for Yannick Carrasco. De Bruyne looking for his club teammate Doku. Ukraine haven't got this away yet. Surikov sends it up towards Dobbik. Up to Dobbik. Van Aert needs to get onside. Dobbik for Ukraine. Tries to go out fast. And the Belgian defender does his job.
Well, Fass isn't the quickest, but that situation there is all about his defensive positioning, his strength, and the fact he doesn't commit himself. Sure, that was a foul, allowing Dobbik to break away, but the good thing here from Fass is he stays on his feet, watches the ball, good body position, ready to react, go left or right. He just blocks off the run of Dobbik.
Down the other end just before that, Yannick Carrasco nearly broke the deadlock himself.
It's a powerful strike, but the keeper can see it all the way. It's at a good height for him. It's savable, but a lot better. The ball into Lukaku, he's the link man. A chance arises, just needs to drill that on the floor down the side of the goalkeeper.
Opportunities at both ends, drumming up the volume of the crowd once again. Dobbik, Fass in his way a second time. Matvienko, Zinchenko. Ukraine trying desperately to find a second wind here.
Now the ball breaks kindly at the near post. This is maybe a combination of Fass and Casteels. Did he manage to get to the ball? Yeah, it's actually fast again. It's a brilliant block. He's not going to pinch the ball. He's just got to be in the way. As the ball is struck goal bound, you just got to try and block it. Intercepted, does ever so well. Two really good bits of defending from him.
Places club football in England wound fast with Leicester City, who've been promoted back up to the top flight for next season. It's a couple of very important challenges that FAS has put into tonight. Artem Dovbyk. Quarter of an hour plus the stoppages to play. In this pressure cooker atmosphere in Stuttgart. Matvienko. Sudakov. Zabani. Straight to Diet. Doku.
There's not an awful lot of defending to do in this second half, but when he's been called upon, he's been sharp, he's been brave. It's a really important block. He doesn't get there. He's going to be giving up for Castiles.
Header from Stepanenko. Tedesco about to make another change for Belgium. Johan Bakayoko, a winger. It will be Jeremy Doku who makes way for the introduction of Johan Bakayoko. So Alexander Timchuk will feel proud to have kept Doku from providing an assist or scoring a goal, but now he's got another battle on his hands. He's got to keep tabs on Johan Bakayoko.
It actually looks as if Bakayoko is going to play out on the right-hand side. It's Carrasco who's going to come out to the left, but you're right about Timchuk. He's defended, now maybe apart from 1-2 occasions when Doku's causing problems, he's defended brilliantly. Clearly that's what Rebrov wanted from him, and he's certainly done his job.
Stepanenko. Ukraine desperately in need of a goal, and there is a man who, with extreme regularity, used to find the net. Andrei Shevchenko, the old strike partner of Sergei Rebrov, and that wonderful Ukraine attack in the past. Goal by Dovbyk, unable to pick out Van Aert. Ukraine, who could be going home with 4 points on the board. How cruel that would feel for them. Svatok. Malinowski. Zinchenko. Stepanenko. Sudakov. Spots him in the gap. Dovbyk. Side running. Some of the Ukraine supporters behind that goal, for an instant they thought that was in. They saw the net shake.
Ideally it's trying his back across goal to the keeper's right hand. He just can't wrap his foot around it, but I think the triple substitution that Rebrov made has really had an effect. They look a lot fresher. There's more of an attacking intent now from Ukraine. They're getting higher up the pitch. They're getting opportunities they weren't before those changes.
about to enter the final 10 minutes of normal time in Stuttgart.
There's Malinowski with the challenge here. He just goes through. There's man Mangala to get to the ball. It's a clear foul. He connects with him before he connects with the ball.
Well, Ukraine are going to throw caution to the wind here. Andrei Yarmolenko, one of their most famous illustrious sons, 122nd cap for him. It's the central defender Alexander Svatok who makes way to allow the introduction of the more attack-minded Andrei Yarmolenko. Can Ukraine squeeze a goal out of this game? That would change everything for them.
Yeah, they have that tactical flexibility to switch to a 4 now, just gives them that extra attacker high up the pitch. Will it pay dividends?
T8. Stepanenko. Nice bit of control by Vanat. It will be a Ukraine throw. One mistake, one lack of concentration, and this could all slip through Belgium's fingers. The moment they'll be going through, but if they concede, they'd be in trouble.
Yeah, just a word on Svatok. He's the man that has had to make way so they can be more attacking. He's had a really strong defensive game up against Lukaku. It's made it really difficult for the Belgian centre forward.
Vanat has managed to get around Vertonghen, and he could see the ball was going out for a corner, and he's decided that is the most productive option for his team. Ukraine send up the big men, and they have quite a few of them. Low delivery, nearly cut out the goalkeeper. Malinowski whips that in with venom. And Con Casteels only just about scrambled it clear.
Well, there's no one on the post, so the keeper has to be sharp. That is an extraordinary clearance. You know, you're thinking he's just going to shovel that into the back of his own net. How he keeps it out. Incredible, quick thinking from the goalkeeper, but then his arms, how he nudges that ball and keeps it the right side of the line. Incredible.
Millimetres from giving Ukraine the lead. Stepanenko unable to keep his header down. Ukraine trying to throw late pressure here. How close is that?
Such quick thinking from Malinowski, the way he whips it in at that near post. And that's not luck, that's by design, and the keeper is alert to it. That's such an important save.
Ewan Casteels, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. Thibaut Courtois, very famous Belgian goalkeeper, not in this squad after falling out with the coach Tedesco. Casteels spared blushes there.
It's a credit to his concentration. He's had so little to do in this second half, but when he needed to make an important stop, he was ready.
Timchuk is injured, he's got a problem. And the Belgian fans aren't happy because he left the field of play and he's come back on in order to receive treatment. He's run his socks off today, Alexander Timchuk. And he doesn't want the delay of having to wait for treatment to come on. Ukraine have no time to waste.
He's covered a lot of ground, Timchuk, a lot of sprinting. Looks as if he's got a touch of cramp.
T8. Onana. Very much shows the mindset of Belgium at the moment. They are intent on preserving the 0-0 draw rather than risk it to try and win the game and in turn win the group. Zinchenko's touch is heavy. Malinovsky has managed to win possession back. This is Yarmolenko, hoping that his big moment could arrive in these closing stages. This Group E, which has been on a knife edge throughout, remains so into the closing 5 minutes of normal time. Vertonghen, Kevin De Bruyne, still with energy in those legs. Lukaku, great first touch, tried to pull it back for Bakayoko.
Well, we haven't seen De Bruyne for a while, but gets on the ball there and the game just changes in a flash. But Lukaku here gets the ball out of his feet, but then it's a poor cross, it's a bouncing ball. Again, not a clean connection. He's reaching for it. It's not a good ball in. To be fair to Ukraine as well, there's lots of defenders that are backpedal to cut out the ball, but it's not a clean cross from Lukaku.
Belgium take their time over this corner. Time very much running out now for Ukraine. Vertonghen. And again, from an attacking position, Belgium retreat. Zinchenko. Sudakov. Looks for Andrei Yarmolenko. Van Aert. Yarmolenko gets another chance. Headed from Onana. Fast. They haven't got it away yet, Belgium. Yarmolenko. Vertonghen. Important touch there by Kevin De Bruyne. And now with bodies upfield, Ukraine are thin at the back. Carrasco. De Bruyne. This could be it. Bakayoko. Well, it's become an exciting finish in Stuttgart, that's for sure.
Well, the pass to Kevin De Bruyne is behind him, that's the problem. It's 3-on-2. He's always going to play this ball out to De Bruyne, but notice it's behind him. If it's out in front of him, different story, but he's got to kind of stop, go and retrieve the ball. Now, ideally you want De Bruyne to shoot from that position, but the pass behind him, and the counter-attack was just nullified fairly easily.
Well, that could have put the game to bed for Belgium. It could have given them an easier tie in the last 16, in theory at least. 0-0 it remains in Stuttgart. Timchuk. Van Aert. This could be it! Malinovsky! Brave defending from Belgium. Castagna putting his body on the line to keep this game scoreless.
I'm not sure how much he knew about it, but he was in the right place at the right time. That's all that matters. It was a thunderous strike. And ball into the striker, protects it, lays it off. Onrushing midfielder. Castagna does ever so well. Just actually steps to his right, steps across in the line of fire, keeps his arms out of the way as well. That's brave.
With Cohen Casteels, who certainly had a few scares late in the game. The goal line technology will show us just how close this was.
Yeah, it's not the most glamorous save that he'll ever make, but in this tournament it could be the most important. You know, getting there is one thing, keeping it out, shoveling it away, just incredible.
Is that to be as close as Ukraine get? We've got fewer than 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remain. Stoppages to come to. Zinchenko. Oh, we've made a long run. And it just wouldn't sit up for Alexander Zinchenko. The pain etched on Ukrainian faces now. Backs to the wall.
Yeah, he gets there, just can't control it. Should do really. Just rolls over his foot. The pain on his face tells you everything. He knows that was an opportunity.
So Romelu Lukaku will go through the group stage at Euro 2024 without finding the net. 3 disallowed goals in the early games. Lois Openda comes on in his place. Fresh legs late on in the Belgian attack.
Yeah, Lukaku hasn't been at his sharpest in this game. He's been really well marshalled, whether it be 2 centre-halves or 3. There's very little room to operate in. Had chances. One early in the game, really should have done better with, and he scuffed it.
There's been so little to choose between all four teams in this group, but one of them has to finish bottom. Ukraine could be playing their final seconds now of competitive action here at Euro 2024. There are 4 minutes in this tournament, which has already seen so many late dramatic goals. 4 minutes remain here. Mangala, Carrasco. Down he goes in the penalty area. The defender was Zabarnyi. Belgium appealing for a penalty, but the referee says play on. Belgium now temporarily down to 10. Malinovsky. Sudakov. Look at it go! It was a brilliant run, and he just couldn't match it with the shot. That could have been the moment for Georgi Sudakov.
Everything opens up in front of him. All he's got to do is have a look at the goalkeeper. Don't go for power. Just pass it down the side of him. Ideally go to his right hand along the floor. He's never going to save it. Maybe he doesn't have a look at the keeper, just goes for power, and it's right down the goalkeeper's throat. What a chance.
You can feel the agony for Ukraine. They are giving it everything here, but against the quality of this Belgian team, Ukraine just can't find their way through. What about this, Andy? The penalty shout down the other end for Carrasco.
Yeah, Zabarnyi, how much of the ball did he get? None of it. Not sure he makes any contact really on Carrasco. Didn't look a penalty.
Ukraine has shown such resolve. Remember, they came from a goal down to beat Slovakia 2-1. Can they show late strength here? Bakayoko. Onana. Cool heads needed for Belgium now. They will take second place in the group now. It's probably been their mindset for some time. Carrasco. Blocked away by Zabarnyi. And we have played 2 of the 4 minutes that have been added on.
It was fine margins for Ukraine. That lack of control from Zinchenko when he broke in behind, and Sudakov there with a golden opportunity. If he had it again, I'm sure he has a look at the keeper and just passes it home.
These Ukraine fans know that they are on the verge of elimination from this European Championship finals. Carrasco. To Brunner. Sliding in with Stepanenko. Corner to Belgium, and they will take their time over this. Evidence of the situation. De Bruyne upset here. There's only 2 Belgians in the penalty area. His teammates are staying so deep.
I think he's saying, come to me, come to the ball. All you want to do is keep the ball in the corner. It's about running the clock down, not about scoring.
Kyoko gets it up quickly. Will there be time for Ukraine to get it down the other? No, it's another corner.
Yeah, De Bruyne shouldn't have to shout at his teammates. It's game management at this stage. Just, come towards me. We'll just keep the ball in the corner for as long as we can.
Tobacco out of play for Bakayoko. The officials say play on. That's a goal kick, and this now is Ukraine's last chance. 30 seconds of stoppages to go. Controlled by Dovbyk, but he couldn't get it under his spell. Matvienko. Ukraine throw. Frustrations to get the ball back in play again. It's a tangle involving Openda. As Anthony Taylor brings the whistle to his lips and he blows the final whistle, and the dream is over.